and how to program. Now I am going to focus more on while loop here. Let's start with this. What is while? So while is a keyword actually, which is a loop control statement which performs a repetitive task. Any loop will perform the same thing, repetitive task, but syntactically they were different. That is one difference what we have. So let's talk about while here. When you talk about while, a while loop performs a repetitive task until the condition is false. Same thing what I had discussed about a loop before this previous video. So now coming to the point. The syntax of while is this. The syntax of while is this. It is almost same like if, but the only difference is if is conditional, it can check a condition only for one time, even if condition is true or false. But while is a loop which keeps on executing until condition is false. So the syntax of while look like this: while condition, parenthesis close, braces statements, and finally you should put step statement at the end. Step statements. Of course, it's not just end. If you want, you can keep it in the middle or in the beginning also. But generally, recommended is generally we keep this step statement at the end. Maybe maybe you can ask what is step statement. It is used to increment your loop or decrement your loop. In fact, it is incrementation or decrementation. And here you have statements, of course. I hope this is clear. This is syntax of while loop. While condition, then what is that? Statements, step statement, and finally close this. So I hope you are ready for programming right now. So this conceptual discussion is done, the technical part is done, then we have to go for logic building. This is very essential for you to do because this is what we need as a developer, keep in mind. So now let's start with this now. So what is this? We'll start with the first basic program, that is program to print. Write a program. Now start doing this. Dear friends, don't try to copy. Just pause your video and solve the code. And then if you are still stuck with something, then come back to the video and get the solution. And this is how you can grow yourself. So program to print numbers from 1 to 10. That is the first program. Why don't you just implement this and just wait for the solution? Okay, just keep doing that. Hi, welcome back. I hope you have done doing this program. Now I am going to provide solution for this. Let me show you how to write a program to print numbers from 1 to 10. So here I am using Eclipse to write a program so that you have idea how to write a program with Eclipse. So run the Eclipse. And okay, guys, let me show you how to write a program on loops here, the 1 to 10. Now here, just expand your project, go to source, right click on source, new, class name, take one class and just write down here, while 1 to 10, 1_10, that's all. So I'm going to write a program to print numbers from 1 to 10. Now you can see, put a main method inside this. Now you have a class here. Inside this, just add a main because you are just doing the basic programming part. Later on, you can just go through the classes and objects after this. Now you need to print 1 to 10. How do you do that? First, you should declare a loop variable. That is very important. And I had asked you, the program is nothing but printing 1 to 10. So take one loop variable I. I told you, if you are working with loop, you have initialization, condition, and step statement. Now I want to start this loop with 1, because the initialization should be 1. So if you should start with 1, you should initialize I to 1. So that is initialization. So what should be the beginning? 1. So initialize I to 1. Then after that, take your while loop, follow the syntax, while condition. What is the condition to print numbers from 1 to 10? just write down I less than or equal to 10. That's enough, because until I is equivalent to 10, your loop should keep on executing. Means always, as long as I is less than 10 or I equal to 10, it keeps on executing. Once I becomes 11, the execution stops. So write the condition like this. Then after that, print the value system.out.println of I. Keep printing I. Then finally, put step statement I++. So in this way, this is how you can write a program for 1 to 10 numbers. I hope this is clear. What happens now? First I is initialized to 1. Then it comes here. Condition is verified. 1 less, I am just trying to trace it quickly. I is 1. That is first thing, initialization. Then what happens? It comes here. Condition is checked. So 1 less than or equal to 10. True or false? True. I less than or equal to 10 means in place of I, 1 is substituted. 1 less than or equal to 10. True or false? True. Then the control comes inside. The value of I is printed. So if condition is true, then you come inside. The value of I is printed. Then 1 is printed here. What is printed? 1. Then now what happens? I is incremented. I++. I becomes 2. I equal to 2. Then I gets incremented. Then do you think the program is terminated as you came to the end of this while loop? No. The control again go back to the while. Again what happens? The condition is verified. Now I is 2. Then it checks whether 2 less than or equal to 10. Is it true or false? True. Then again control comes inside. Then the value of I is printed. It becomes 2. Again this continues. This continues. Again I increments. I becomes 3. This continues until the value of I becomes, what is that? 10. Assume that the value of I is 10. Now 10 less than or equal to 10. True or false? True. Then what happens? I is printed. That is last time which you are going to print the value. So that is last time which you are going to print the value. And finally what happens? I++. I becomes how much? 11. When I is 11, then what happens? It will again go to the loop, checks the condition. 11 less than or equal to 10. True or false? So it's false, because 11 is not less than 10. Either 11 is not equal to 10. So the condition is false. Then the execution of loop is terminated. I hope this is clear. And by the time the loop is terminated, all the values are printed from 1 to 10. I hope this is clear to all of you, my dear friends. So that's all. This is how this tracing is this. You got idea about this. I hope you are clear with this now. So this is simple idea about how to print numbers from 1 to 10. Let me quickly run this program so that we can see the output now. So execute this and you can find the result here. Can you see this? Great. So that's idea about printing numbers from 1 to 10. I hope this is clear now. Now I'll ask you to do one more program. Please do it. Next program. Program to print numbers from 10 to 1. Are you ready for this? Now please pause your video and provide the solution for this and come back and then just start doing and just observe the output. Thank you. Just pause this and keep working on that. And again, you have the solution here after this. Welcome back. Let me show you the solution for this now. Here you should make some changes. This time the program is 10 to 1. Anyhow, I am not changing the class name. Let it be. Now here, your initialization must be 10 because you should start with 10. So initialize I to 10. Then after that, you should change the condition. You should start from 10 and come to 1. So the condition here is it's not less than, but it's greater than or equal to 1. This is what you should do. And then you should say minus minus. This is a decrementation 10 to 1. So you should put minus minus. Now you run this program. Then the output here is nothing but 10 to 1. I hope this is clear. And the tracing is same as usual, like how we had done in the previous program. So I suggest you try to trace your program. It gives you better understanding of coding. This is what you need as a developer. I hope this is clear to all of you. Thank you very much. Next, again, one more program. Are you ready for the next program? Write a program, another program to print even numbers, even number from 1 to 10. It doesn't mean that you should start with 10. What I want is I want it to print even numbers, all even numbers between 1 and 10. That's what I am expecting. Okay, so please pause this video, provide the solution, and then come back and then just observe your solution. Welcome back. Now we are going to write a program to print even numbers from 1 to 10. We can do this in two ways. I'll show you both the approaches. Let me show you case 1. This is case 1, and this is printing evens. This is actually a comment. Maybe I didn't explain this. This is actually CPP comment, C++ comment. Just single line comment, you call this a single line comment, that double slash. So whatever you just write in that line is just commented. It's ignored by the compiler. It's not executed. So this is very easy for in some situations like this. So anyhow, going back to the program, even numbers 1 to 10. It's very simple. You initialize I to 1. You know very well about that because we should start 1 to 10. Otherwise, I'm sorry. We had learned, your numbers from school days. What is your number? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, something like that. Means you should add 2 to any even number, you get even number. So your initialization should be an even number, either 0 or 2. What's your initialization? Either 0 or 2. That should be the initialization. And after that, you should execute this loop for up to 10. So write the condition as usual, less than or equal to 10. So you should iterate up to 10. And here what I want is, I want you to print only evens. Means you should increment this I by 2. I told you while discussing this operators, if you want increment by 2, by 3, by 4 or by 10, you should use something called full form. You cannot use I++ or I minus. So when I increment by 2, every time this loop is executed, this I is incremented by 2. Means 0 plus 2 how much? 2. 2 plus 2 how much? 4. 4 plus 2 how much? 6. In this way, every time you increment loop, a 2 is added to the previous value and you are starting with even number. This generates all the even numbers. So you get the output as something like this. You can see it's 0 to 10 and you can find all the evens here because you start with 0, increment by 2 and you stop at 10. So you got all the evens here. Is this clear to all of you? So this is how you can print evens without using any conditional checking inside the while. You can do another way. You can do the same thing in another way. We'll talk about that. But anyhow, I hope this is clear now. So going forward to the next case. Okay, case 2. You can declare an if statement inside while, and every time loop is iterated, you can check whether this I is even or not. You can do a program like that. That is also possible. So I hope this is clear. So how do you do this? Case 2. Case 2 is condition checking. So here put an if statement inside that. You know very well, the purpose of if is to check whether a condition is true or false. If condition is true, if block is executed. So inside this, I am declaring if, and you should check that every time loop is executed, the value of I, whether it is even or not. If it is even, you should print that, otherwise you should skip that. That is what you should do. So how do you do then? I percentile 2 equal to 0. Means this will check every time whether I is even or not. Then if it is even, then only you allow the user to print the value. Then here print I inside the block. Then after that, close the for if block, and after that increment the I. Because I see sometimes students keeping this incrementation inside if block, but it won't work completely. Don't put this incrementation inside if. I recommend you to declare this incrementation outside the if block. This is very important. I hope this is clear. So that's all. This is how you can print even numbers either using if block, without using if block. Now let me just execute this, and you get again 0 to 10 only. The same output, no big difference. I hope this is clear. And yet this condition will check every time whether it is even or not. Only even numbers are allowed to print from the if block, that's all. Otherwise, execution of if is skipped. Clear? So this is idea about what is that? Printing events using if block without using if block. Got clarity on this now? Okay, next. Are you ready for the next program, dear friends? Okay, so let's start doing that. Now program to print. It's a simple program just for practice. Odd numbers from 1 to 10. So please pause this video and try to get the solution. Anyhow, I'm going to stop this video with this program. So just for the solution, just please continue with the next